Happy holidays from the Jackson Hole Children's Museum. In this video today, we're going to be going over how to build several different types of ornament. To make the snowflake ornament, you'll need the following materials. 3 long objects. These could be popsicle sticks, but they could also be sticks you found out in nature or pipe cleaners. Something that you have 3 of that are about the same length. You'll need a piece of ribbon. You'll also need something to decorate your snowflake with. Now, today I'm going to be using glitter glue, but you could also use paint, markers. You might want to use some decorative ribbon or string, or even some pom-poms, glitter, or sequins. The last thing you'll need is your hot glue mat and your hot glue gun plugged in with a fresh hot glue stick in it. To make our snowflake ornament, we're gonna start with our 3 long objects. What we're going to do is use hot glue to eventually make a 6-sided snowflake like this. We're gonna start with just 2 of the snowflakes, and we make a shape kind of like an hourglass and add hot glue between those sticks. And then we're gonna take that 3rd one, add more hot glue, and attach. While my snowflake is drying, and before I can decorate it, I can work on its hanger. So I'm gonna let this dry here, and I'm gonna grab my ribbon, and I'm gonna take my ribbon, I'm gonna tie a knot, so that now I have a loop. The next step is going to be to add our hook to it. So you can pick one of the points of your snowflake, or you can use the middle to hang it. I'm going to choose this point here, and for this, I'm going to be adding hot glue here and being really careful not to touch it as I attach my ribbon like that. So you notice not touching the hot glue, but smushing the ribbon down onto it by putting tension on that ribbon. We're going to want to let this one dry. Now that my hot glue is totally dry, it's time to decorate my snowflake. I'm going to start on the opposite side. Once you're done decorating, you can let your ornament dry, and then when it's totally dry, hang it in a beautiful spot. To make the jar photo frame ornament, you'll need the following materials. A jar lid, a photograph that you would like to put into that photo frame, some ribbon, a paintbrush, and some Mod Podge. If you got a holiday kit this year, your Mod Podge will be in a container that looks like this. It's like a white gluey substance, and on the bottom of the container it'll say MP. You'll need scissors, and you'll also need lots of fun things to decorate your frame with. For example, I have sequins, pom-poms, glitter glue, some scrap paper, and a snowflake sticker. The last things that you'll need are a hot glue gun, plugged in and ready to go, and the mat that a hot glue gun goes on top of so that it doesn't get hot glue on your tabletop. The first step of my jar lid ornament is going to be to cut out the photograph that I want to go into my frame. So the middle of my jar lid here, that's going to be where our photograph goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my photograph, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to place my lid over the back of it, over what I know I want in the frame, and I'm going to trace it with a pencil or a pen. Then I'm going to cut out that circle. Now that my photograph is cut out, I'm going to see if it fits inside of my jar. That's a little tight, so I might trim it a little bit so it fits better. Much better. My next step is going to be making sure that any other pieces of paper or photographs that I'd like on my ornament are cut out and ready to go. Now that I have both of my paper pieces, it's time for me to get my Mod Podge and my paintbrush. And I'm gonna paint a thin layer of Mod Podge inside the jar lid and place my photograph onto the Mod Podge. Next, I'm going to paint another thin layer of Mod Podge, this time over that photograph. And this is going to make a seal so that this photograph is waterproof and really nice and stuck in there. Then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the back side for my scrap paper or the second photograph I want on my ornament. And we'll seal this side as well with that over the top layer. Now it's time to let my Mod Podge dry completely. If it's a little bit white, don't worry, it's gonna dry clear once it's totally dry. While you're waiting for your Mod Podge to dry, you might wanna make your ribbon into a loop so it's ready to go once your ornament is dry. Now that my Mod Podge has dried on my lid, it's time for me to attach my loop. I wanna make sure that the loop is going to be in the place where my photo hangs upright. So I can see Bernie's head is right here, like the upper part of the photo is here, the lower part of the photo is down near his paw here. So I'm gonna carefully turn it over so up is here still, like this. And that means I'm gonna put my loop right here. I'm gonna take my hot glue, I'm gonna be really careful. I'm gonna add hot glue to the lid itself. And carefully, without touching the hot glue, I'm going to push my loop into the glue. Now, I'm gonna let this dry. Now that this is dry, I'm going to attach my decorations to my ornament. Once it's totally done, I'm gonna let my ornament dry before I hang it somewhere special. To make the cork skier ornament, you'll need the following materials: a pair of scissors, 1 cork, 2 popsicle sticks, a pom-pom, 2 googly eyes, a piece of fabric, a ribbon. You'll need your hot glue mat, and your hot glue gun plugged in and ready to go. You might also need an additional glue stick for your hot glue gun. You're gonna start by finding your cork and your fabric. To attach my jacket, I'm gonna use hot glue to make a line, attach my fabric, and then wrap around. So it's attached, and now I'm gonna wrap around and see where it overlaps and add glue there. The next step is going to be adding its hair or its hat. Next, I'm gonna put my eyes on my skier. So now my skier has its whole body, but it's time to add the skis and add the ornament loop. So I've got my 2 skis here. I'm gonna line them up next to each other and decide where the skier goes on them. And then I'm gonna add hot glue and attach my skier. While my skier is drying, I'm gonna find my ribbon that's gonna be the loop for this ornament. And I could tie a knot here if I wanted to, or you can just attach this using hot glue without a knot. Today I'm gonna tie a knot on it. And the last step is going to be to attach this ribbon loop to the back of my skier. And it's time to let this dry completely before I can hang it in a fun spot. Now, this is a really basic skier. You could add so many more details and decorate the skis, add more clothing, add bindings to your skis, or even invent a